talking about starting, big up Rap Talk SK. Big up this user called Rap Talk SK. I follow him on Twitter. He kind of does a lot of content regarding hip hop shit. Young kid who kind of interviews people. I think he also has a TikTok, I think, and just speaks about rap stuff in general. He was in Europe doing a bit of a tour, hanging out, you know, feeling the scene. Maybe he's going to some festivals, I'm not too sure. But he happened to be in Berlin. And again, this is a hip hop kid, right? From America. So he goes to Berlin, which, you know, isn't known for its hip hop clubs. Most of the clubs there are known for playing dance music, electronic music, aka techno for the most part, right? That's their pop music over there, at least. And he wrote this on Twitter that fucking made me laugh so hard. Rap Talk SK on Twitter. Bro, we dead ass can't get into clubs in Berlin because we Americans, I'm actually crying. Crying face emoji, ×3. This made me die with laughter because it reminded me of the one and only time that I've ever been denied entry in Berghain. I think I'm lucky in that I've never been denied entry in Berghain as a solo person. I think it helps because I'm a DEI, right? I'm a DEI hire. I think they kind of feel bad to kind of, you know, say to one solo black guy by himself, hey, you can't come in, right? So it kind of, I think that kind of helps the situation. It also kind of helps as well that, you know, I've been there a few times and people recognize me. I'm not too sure, but regardless, the one time I didn't get in was when randomly that particular year when I went to Berghain, no, I went to Berlin, sorry, that particular year was the same year that these guys who I guess you consider them friends, people that I went to fucking sixth form with, right? aka college, they were there at the same time. And these are like, I'll say they're lads, they're guys I used to play football with on Sundays. They had a team. Actually, that was kind of fun. I don't know why I stopped doing that, actually. Maybe they stopped calling me, I'm not sure, but they used to play football. They said they used to have an 11-a-side, no, they used to have a 5-a-side team, sorry. A 5-a-side team that we'd meet and play at the AstroTurf's pitches in Mile End, I think, one of those places, which was kind of fun. And I kind of, again, knew them from college times. And I randomly bumped into them in Berlin, which always happens, right? For whatever reason, whenever I'm out there, I randomly bump into people from London that I know. So I bump into them. And I think at that time, that was also in the beginning when I was kind of starting the channel and talking about Berghain and shit. So I think they were also excited to kind of experience it with me because they heard me speak about it in the pod, but they were also fans of Berghain, etc. So because they knew quite a lot about the music, you know. We eventually agreed to meet up to go Berghain. And when we went, obviously, we didn't get in as a group. I think we rocked up on like a Sunday in the afternoon. It was really empty. We queued up and they instantly didn't want to let us in. And I instantly kind of was like, wow, shit, like this is what it feels like to be on the other side when you're like with a group of like lads from London and you're just being yourselves and they're like, nah, not tonight, mate, not ever, actually. And we were so high that day, which I think also that doesn't help. I think we were proper loud in the queue, which you're not meant to do in the Berghain queue. As soon as you get to the fucking concrete blocks, maybe as soon as you get to the fucking steel barriers, right? The little snake barriers, you instantly go quiet. You're not meant to talk. You're meant to instantly just like close your mouth. You're not allowed to talk. So the fact that we started talking and were loud probably didn't help our situation. But I do remember we were so fucking high that we thought it would be a great idea if we went around the corner where the park benches are and shit, and we all swap jackets. Now think about what I look like, if my dear listener, think about what I look like, and then think about all my other friends from school. Some of them Asian, some of them Filipino, some of them Spanish, some of them whatever, right? But just think of what I look like first of all in a group of friends. So you'd probably recognize me. You'd probably be able to see, okay, if I came 10 minutes ago and I walk by 10 minutes later, you'll probably recognize me, right? I'm not going to blend in anywhere. But we were so fucked. We were so high that we thought it would be a good idea to just change tops. So we all changed tops. We all, whatever jacket we had on, we gave to the next person. So we all wearing different everyone's jacket. And then we went back and queued, thinking they wouldn't recognize us. And obviously it didn't work. I think I remember at the time, I'm pretty sure it was Sven at the door. He was like looking at us like I just saw you. Like, no, you know, like obviously not tonight, another time. And, you know, unbeknownst to us, you know, we found out later the actual tactic you're meant to do is that you're meant to go on the Reddit, you're meant to go on the fucking Telegram, and you're meant to try to find out when the shift changes. I forgot how often it is, 4 hours or something, but the shift changes with the fucking bouncers every certain amount of hours, and maybe that could increase your chance of getting in, because if one bouncer says no, maybe when a new shift of people come in, they might be more open to you going in there. And I remember that being a shitty feeling, because what I didn't like about it was that I knew instantly they didn't let us in because we were kind of lads. But then I knew if I went by myself, I would have definitely got in, because, you know, they want a particular type of look. And I, you know, for whatever reason, when I go to berghain, I usually dress in a way that would allow me to get in. I sometimes feel a little bit ridiculous, to be fair, I'm not gonna lie. Even though I dress like that every day, most of the time when I'm out and about, it's still very intentional sometimes when I wear certain outfits when I go there, because I know that if I wear other quote unquote nigger outfits to try and get to berghain, they won't let me in. Same with other sort of clubs, right? Or other little things around the world and shit. You try and go there and wear your regular nigger outfit, and they're definitely going to look at you a certain way, which is annoying, because the only way you can get into type of places, especially as a black guy, is if you dress like a black guy that only fucks white girls. You know the type I'm talking about, right? The kind of black guy that kind of, you know, like only exclusively dates white girls. You can just tell by his hair, you can just tell by his fingernail polish, by his, you know, jewelry, you know, because maybe he wears fucking tabby loafers, you know, the pleats on his, you know, maybe he's wearing Issey Miyake pleats as well. Sorry, maybe he's fucking got, I don't know, maybe he's got like a diesel fanny pack or something. But there's a type of, there's a particular archetype, particular avatar of a black guy who only fucks white girls, or a black guy that only fucks white boys, that definitely gets into those type of places. But if you're an NIGGA or an NIGGER and you dress a certain way, you're not gonna get in. You're not gonna get in, which is really frustrating, really fucking frustrating. That sort of happens in these type of places. But I guess it kind of is what it is. But I wonder, in a place like Berlin, does there exist a place where if you are an NGGA that you can go to and be unapologetic yourself? When I went there last, I think, and I was checking up on RA, I did find that there were a lot of like Amapiano nights, but they were all in the center. They were kind of like meter, or how do you pronounce that word, meter area. I think I saw some in the Prince Lauberg area. So all the poshy areas, the place that you don't really want to be, they had all the urban quote unquote clubs. But all the ghettos, like places like Neukölln and shit, they were all the techno places, but they were also the ones that are more judgy, you know? The judgiest. Like, it's like the same time I remember that time I went to fucking that one time I went to fucking what's it called? That one time I went to fucking Roses. Big up Roses bar. One of my favorite bars out there in Berlin. It's a gay bar that's like covered in like red upholstery on the inside. It's amazing. Really cool place. It kind of transports you to another fucking dimension when you go in there. I fucking love it. But one time I tried to get in there and they said no. And to be fair, I was dressed in a more of a niggery way. Like I had like my Rick Owen boots on, Rick Owen pod shorts, Rick Owen bomber jacket, you know. But in general, I just had like an all black look on with some shorts and I think I was wearing a New Era hat or something. And the guy was like, "Not tonight." And I was like, "What? Don't I look?" And I think I got into a bit of a back and forth with the guy. Like, "What? Don't I look gay enough or something? Like I have to look way more gayer to get in." And obviously after that, a group of white guys got in pretty easily. And one of the guys had like a bedazzled fucking blazer on, some jacket like he bought from fucking Zara. I was like, what? So I have to wear Zara garments to get in here? Like, come on, man. So as much as I love the door picking thing, the door picking culture in general, and I think it's definitely been more beneficial than negative in the culture, in the scene, especially when you think about the techno scene origins over there in Berlin, and most of those clubs, especially that berghain, being essentially founded off the backs of like gay people and shit, as a safe space for them to rave and have their fun. It makes sense why they'd be door pickers, because they wouldn't want, you know, people, stragglers like myself, to come in and fuck up the mood with all our, you know, whatever else that was going on in there. So I get why they do that, but it's just annoying that sometimes these places that preach about being open and about being safe spaces and blah blah blah, they usually are quite discriminatory too in their own way. Because if you don't look a certain way, if you don't match up to what they think a person that's into that music will be into, you get fucking told to fuck off, you know, in non-certain terms, which I don't like. Because the last thing I want to do is dress up and feel like I'm wearing fucking fancy dress, you know, like I've got my techno dance nightclub fancy dress outfit on to make me feel comfortable in these type of places, or to make people be comfortable with me, you know. I don't think that's fair. But big up SK Rap Talks, big up SK Rap Talks. Welcome to Berlin. Welcome to fucking Berlin. Welcome to fucking Berlin. There's a couple more from him too. He says there's more alcohol in Germany grocery stores and water, which is very true, by the way. I think if you go to a river, which is the main supermarket that I go to, if I'm usually out there for like a weekend, I'll get an Airbnb, maybe around that area, right? Let's say that Cottbus Hotel, Alexanderplatz, Hermannplatz, fucking Neukölln area, and there's usually rivers around there or a little, but rivers especially, I think it's spelled RIWA. Most of those places, like, you'd be hard pressed to find the water. And for some reason as well, the watercolors in Germany or Berlin are really strange. Like, I don't know, I forgot what color still water is, but I think sparkling might be like pink. So there's these bottles that's got like green, blue, and like pink color, but it's hard to discern what's sparkling, what isn't, what's mineral water, what isn't. It's all fucking all over the place. But if you go to a river, you'll find a section where they sell beers. They sell them by the crate, like they sell them by the milk crate, but you can't find the same amount of water by the milk crate, you know? You can find fucking beer by the milk crate, but not water by the milk crate. But to be fair to them, I don't know if it's because of the hops or the wheat or the barley or whatever, but I've never had better beer in my life than Berlin. The only place that was comparable beer wise was Prague. Prague beer was fucking delicious, and it was super cheap. I think you go to restaurants, you buy a pint for like £1 or something. But when it comes to like Eastern Europe or places, you know, not Eastern Europe, like, you know, Western Europe, I guess, places you can find really easily, Berlin probably has the best beer, especially for supermarkets and stuff. So, you know, maybe as for that trip, don't bother with the water, just fucking drink the beer, fuck the water. And then another one from SK, he says, Europeans dead ass don't have AC, bro. And we don't have any AC. We don't believe in AC. AC doesn't exist. AC is not real. So big up Rap Talk AC. And then I also decided to quickly check out this account. Big up Nightclubs Berlin. It's a really sick Instagram account where this person, I think it's a woman, she basically interviews a bunch of Berliners and gets their thoughts and opinions on certain things, and it's usually really funny and kind of cringy because, you know, Berlin people are like that, right? They're funny and cringy and they take themselves way too seriously. So I quickly went to check to see kind of what the vibe is, right? So let me this is just a vibe check. I've proper vibe check to see what's going on. So let me see what I'll go on with the Berlin scene. Let me click a random one. Which one should I click? Let me click a random one. Let's go here. Let's go to this guy here. Let's go to this guy. He looks kind of interesting. Let's see what this guy's saying.
I would like to see in our gay community more love, compassion and appreciation towards each other. And when we connect with each other on a much deeper level, human ones, and not only in bed, but as human beings.
What's your favorite word?
Just the mid nipple twist is fucking hilarious. Look at the comments as well. 2 very strong points. I fucking love it. Big up the Instagram comments. Honestly, the random nipple twist is fucking sensational. Big up this guy. What's his name? Dimitri. Big up Dimitri.
In German.
Arschlocher. I would like to see in our...
Yeah, big up a homeless cat. Yeah, we're going to be starting in about 20 minutes, my friend. 20 minutes, I'm going to switch over to random show. Don't worry, I'll be there. So that was that one. Let's go to another person randomly. Let's check this girl out. Let's see what she's saying.
Freedom for me is a state of mind, because if we conditionate the freedom to the body, it can be very limited. And for example, when we are using our imagination, we can create abstraction in many possibilities. We can even do astral projection. If we are not happy where we are, we can just read a book that takes us somewhere, or we just imagine that we are manifesting a life somewhere else. So freedom also takes us where we want to go. There is no limits for the imagination. There is no limits for the creativity. Freedom for...
Okay, I guess so. Don't really know what she's talking about there, but I was thinking actually, as you were speaking, Berlin's kind of one of those places where you have to kind of go at a certain age, certain time in your life, at a certain age. But I'm also wondering, maybe like I think in the future actually, especially once this channel and stuff gets popping, I think what I might end up doing, just for like as an experiment, just for like a prolonged period of time, because I think nowadays, I think because they're not in the EU anymore, I can only stay there like without having a visa for like 90 days or 60 days. I don't know which one it is, but I think I might do that next time, you know. Once I get my fucking situation sorted, my money up, I think I may do like an extended 30-day marathon over there and just book a place for 30 days, stream all the time, go out all the time, record the stuff, do IRL streams, you know, obviously stream on here all the time as well, and see what I'll go on. That might be a good little thing to do for the 30 days, or maybe not do 30, maybe don't do every day, because I'm sure I'll probably get too fucked up and miss a day, but do like IRL streams when I go there. Do you know what I mean? And stay for a prolonged period of time and kind of see what it's about, because I'm curious to see what it might be like to live there. Although I would not like to live there because it's just too much going on. I kind of like the detachment. I kind of like being in the scene, but not in the scene. It'll be interesting to see what these guys are like day to day, you know, how they kind of act, how they go on. Like, does a Monday feel like a Monday in Berlin, or does a Monday just feel like a Thursday, you know? I'm curious to see what I'll go on for that place. Let's do a couple more. Let's do this lady here. Let's see what she's saying.
Growing up in a cult had me believe for a really long time that the evil, that the devil is like almost like an outside force that has power over myself. And it took me a long time to actually fall into the understanding that if there is evil, it is actually something that speaks through the human factor and like our egoic selves. So it's going to whisper in your language and in your tone, and through this comes also the big emphasis on returning to practices that cultivate awareness, because you need to really refine your awareness in order to have the discernment when the voice speaking through your own ear is yours, when is your highest self speaking on, or when is something else that should maybe have less space in your inner world.
Okay, very deep. Again, this kind of reminds me of some of the best conversations I've had in toilet cubicles in clubs, from Club Divisionaire to Watergate to Berghain itself to Same Heads to fucking Paloma. Like, I've had some of the best toilet conversations with these people, so it does make sense why they like this. It does make sense why they fucking like this. Let's do another one. Let's do this guy. Don't do ketamine.
I've been sober now since 1 year, and if I can, then I would never want to go back to my old self. And before you click away and think, oh, it's another hippie-ish video, try to tell me not to take ketamine. Yes, don't take ketamine. It's the best thing ever. I mean, you know, just like many other...
That's such a Berlin person. He's 1 year sober, right? Only 1 year. And he's on his soapbox preaching. Then mid-sentence, don't do Berlin. It's so fucking... Don't do ketamine. It's so fucking... He's like, it's so fucking good. He's like literally itching, gagging for some right there in that moment. What a fucking legend. Let's go for him one more time. What a fucking legend. What's his name? What's this guy's name?
I've been sober now.
Oh, that's the founder of Club Verboten, really. Big up him. Big up, what's his name? Klav. Is that his name? Carl. Big up Carl. This is the founder of Club Verboten. This is one of the most popular sex parties out there in Europe, or well, mostly here in London and Berlin based. I don't say whole of Europe, but yeah, they do a lot of kink raves and shit, where essentially people get dressed up in like BDSM, you know, kind of wear, and somebody plays in the corner where people fuck all over the place, and people love that sort of shit, to be honest. But I've never been to it. I'm not really into that sort of stuff, to be fair. I kind of like to separate my sex and my techno, but it's doing really fucking well. So interesting to hear this from him as a founder of one of those hedonistic places.
Since 1 year, and if I can, then I would never want to go back to my old self. And before you click away and think, oh, it's another hippie-ish video, try to tell me not to take ketamine. Yes, don't take ketamine. It's the best thing ever. I mean, you know, just like many other introverts, I arrived in club spaces 2 decades ago to create meaningful connections, to make friends, to make lasting memories. But the reality of it was that it left me dull and empty most of the time and drained of my energy. And I didn't even know why, right? I just kept feeding this dullness, and it was a never-ending ritual. The moment I found the strength to option out for 2, 3, 4 months and then come back with the willpower to say no, the willpower to just be sober and be around, I actually started making friends. I actually started making lasting memories that I was allowed to take home beyond the walls of that club. And it's been a really enriching path to be on. And I didn't miss out. It's quite the opposite. I have more friends, I have more sex, I have more interactions, I have more memories, and I have way more joy and fun in life. So I can highly recommend it, to at least give it a try.
That's actually true about the memories. Like when I was in my real fucking party boy phase, I couldn't remember a single thing that I did outside. I couldn't remember a single part of the night, who played well, who didn't play, what, like nothing. It was just a fucking blur. Like there's a huge chunk of my like outdoor raving experience where I just have no memory of what went down. I'm sure others do, but I don't. Zero. Like I know I went to these places, I know I was physically there, but I don't remember what I did, what I said, or how I said it. Which is kind of unfortunate. But now that when I do go out, I'm not as fucked up as I used to be, or since I just go out and I'm just sober and shit, I have realized that I do remember a lot more and I'm enjoying them a lot more. But sometimes as well, to be completely honest, it does remind you of how boring it can be sometimes, because you're so used to being when you're there charged up, that it can take a while to get to just, and it's just not the same. I know people like to lie and say, oh my god, raving sober is so much better. No, it isn't. You can do it, it's good, it's an option, but it's not better. It's not better than being, going to a club for the first time in your late teens, early 20s and getting fucked on absolutely everything, right? It's not the same thing. But it does help if you do, like, I think if you do love the scene properly and you're really into the music, I think you owe it to yourself to at least attempt to go to these places at least once sober, at least once, just to experience how the night is. And I like to go, especially, this is really fucking psychotic, but if I am going out on a night out sober, I tend to like to go to the night early. Like I want to be there, I want to be one of the first people on the dance floor, and then slowly see it fill out, slowly see it fill out, slowly see the atmosphere change, people's faces, the frequency of toilet visits. Like I like all that sort of shit, just kind of observing people like you're in fucking a human zoo or something. So yeah, it's decent. But big up this guy, man. He must have been doing a lot of ketamine. He must have been doing a lot of ketamine. Let me see some other ones now. Let's which one should I see? What another one? Let's go with this girl here. What's she talking about?
I feel like Berlin holds so much potential, and it attracts the people that do so too. And in my observation over the last 10 years, there's so much escapism happening. And why can I observe this? Because I have been there 10 years ago. Through the time I spent in Berlin at the start, I was escaping to not face the pain, to not face what I was actually looking for. It was too painful.
Jesus Christ? What you gonna talk about? Jesus.
And I escaped in clubs, nights out, too long, in substance abuse, in relationships,
This place
in
breaks
sex.
people, isn't it?
And I would like to encourage people to face this, to fill this gap, to be seen in their vulnerability, and to connect to the true core, to love. I feel like Berlin holds...
Honestly, Berlin breaks people, innit? Berlin is the real maker and breaker of people. Either you get lost in the sauce, or you end up knowing how to cook the sauce or something. I don't know what the saying is. I fucked it up, but you know what I mean. Like, god damn, man. It must be one of those places where you have to be really mindful about how you conduct yourself, how you act. I think I did a really good job, and I think this is one of my only strong suits or traits in general. I'm pretty self-aware. Like, I've got a pretty good handle on who I am and what I'm about. So I think I did a good thing of like making sure that I just didn't move there early. When I was really into berghain, I was into Berlin and the whole scene, I was obsessed with it. I wouldn't stop fucking talking about it to anybody that would listen, especially on this fucking pod. That moment where I probably should have gone, I didn't go. And I didn't go because I think deep down I knew I couldn't handle it. I knew if I went there, I probably would have died. So I did the right thing by staying here and, experiencing it from time to time. That 1 year I went 6 times a year and shit. I kind of got the bug of my system really early. And also when you go as well, you realize that you know, you can never replicate the first couple of times you go. You can never replicate the first time you go to Sisyphus. You can never replicate the first time you have a beer in fucking Mao Park or something, right? That those first times are those first times. And you know, you don't want to keep tracing the dragon. But then you also realize that, you know, people out there, like, they take raving seriously. They take taking drugs seriously. They take drinking seriously. And I'm just not that serious about it. Like, I'm serious about the music. I'm serious about DJing. I'm not serious about that hedonistic escapism side of it. It's not that deep for me. You know, I enjoy it, don't get me wrong, but it's not like the be all and end all. And I think these people really, you know, which is, you know, understandable. That's why they fucking live there. But I think if that's not your vibe, you should probably just avoid it altogether and look for somewhere else to go. Maybe go Portugal. That's a place that everyone's going to currently at the moment anyway. Portugal's fucking popping off. Let's do another guy and then we're going to end. Let's do this one here. What's this guy saying in a pink jacket?
Lunchbox Candy is not just a party, it's an energy transmission. So when I was a kid, when I was a toddler at kindergarten, my grandmother would prepare my lunchbox, which was very boring. You had a cheese sandwich, a banana and an apple. And I would be so jealous with all the other kids' lunchboxes. I had chocolate and sweets and all the fancy stuff. And that's really a metaphor as a queer kid feeling left out, feeling like the black sheep or the pink sheep, being bullied and outcasted. So I wanted to create this environment and give everyone else the candy. There we have Lunchbox Candy, which is a space where we hold with so much love for all a community to come and express themselves unapologetically, to be fully seen, to be held, celebrated, enjoy, and shine the light and catalyze the shadow and the darkness. And this is really what we're aiming for in the city, and hopefully this is the message that comes across.
To be fair, that sounds beautiful. I'm not gonna lie. That sounds like a fucking beautiful, beautiful message. And definitely another reason why that place is quite special, because people like this exist who take clubbing so seriously that they kind of imbue some of their own personal experience, personal struggles and traumas, and help to create a place, a quasi safe space, an actual safe space where people can go and exist and be their true selves, whether they're queer or wherever else it may be. I think that's really fucking cool. And the fact that this is like these are like the leading people in nightlife. It's not like here in London or whatever, where some of these things are on the fringes or some of the on the quote unquote underground. These are some of the major parties that are like doing great things, that are really pushing the envelope, influencing things, breaking new acts, putting on the best raves and shit. It's kind of cool to see. So big up this guy. What's his name? Stephanos. Big up Stephanos from, what's this party called? Lunchbox Candy. What's Lunchbox Candy? I've never heard of Lunchbox Candy. Lunchbox Candy is like a rave but cuter. There's a Ket Gala happening on the 26th actually in Aden. Nice to hear. Ket Gala on the 26th. Do they have any videos of the events, or is it no pictures allowed? Sugar free Lunchbox Candy. There's another one happening. There's got another event happening on the 20th, and they've got another happening on. They also do sober raves too. There's a sugar free event happening on the 19th. Let's actually check out their page. Do they have any videos and shit of the event?
No, look, I can chat right now. I'm at the Ket Gala. Yes, the Ket Gala. Darling, it's fabulous. All the kids are here. Yep, third cubicle on the left. Of course it'll be fat, love. You know me. All right, darling. Chatting. Cheers.
I love this. The Ket Gala is a good name.
Candy.
The Ket Gala. We're returning to Whole Festival to take over the. Okay, they're going to be at Whole Festival too. Big up them. Nice to see. What else have they got here? Amsterdam. Okay, it kind of feels like an Inferno. We've got a similar night here in London called Inferno. It kind of feels like Inferno, but done in the Berlin way, from what I can see here. I could be wrong, but that's what it kind of feels like. See you tonight at the Ket Gala. Okay, it looks kind of fun. Not gonna lie, it looks kind of fun still. Big up the Ket Gala. Big up the Blood Clot Ket Gala. Everyone there having a good time. What's the next one's on the 26th, isn't it? I might have to make my way there on the little sly one still. On the little cheeky one. Big up the Blood Clot Ket Gala, people. Really cool pictures, by the way. Who takes these pictures? Collaborate to follow the lineup. One who takes the pictures are really good. These 35mm picture type thing going on here really captures the vibe really fucking well. Me like it, me like it, me like it. What else is going on here? Any more pictures? Who's taking these? These are fucking cool. I really love this shit, I'm not gonna lie. Do we have any videos of the night itself, or is this all hidden with a camera sticker? Yeah, no actual pictures of the rave dance floor itself, but we've got some people in their outfits and stuff having a good time. We've got some pictures here, a little bit. What's this? This is a kind of something there, but not really. Okay, there we go. We've got a little bit here from Lunchbox. Who's this person? Big Welt. Big up. Who's that? Big Welt. Big up Big Welt. Big up Blood Club. Big Welt. Nothing more going on there. There's a Lunchbox thing happening there. I see. Just a picture. Cool. Big up them. Big up them. Big up Blood Clot. Damn. Okay, cool. Well, big up them.